sometimes I look at certain neighborhoods and I think, wow, that place could really use a makeover,
Yeah.
And, well, today we are going to be looking at Jakarta.
Oh, yeah.
They've got their share of neighborhoods that are really struggling. And someone has an idea of how to totally overhaul Jakarta's slums.
Wow.
Kun Wardana Abyoto.
Okay.
This is the person with a vision.
Right.
And he doesn't just want to put up some new buildings.
Right.
He wants to, completely transform the community.
Ambitious.
Yes, very much so.
So what's so different about Abyoto's plan? I mean, a lot of people talk about just, building new housing.
Yeah.
But he's talking about something bigger.
Yeah, he is.
It's like he wants to create a whole sustainable community that can actually thrive. Which, when you think about the conditions in Jakarta's slums.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really critical goal.
Our source material doesn't hold back
Yeah.
at all. I mean, overcrowded housing,
Yeah.
lack of sanitation, and the constant threat of floods.
Oh, wow.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, these problems, they don't just stay in one place, right?
Right.
They impact residents' health, how they make a living, even the future of their kids.
And it becomes this cycle.
It's that cycle of poverty.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to escape.
It really is. And that's where I think Abyoto's plan is so interesting.
Okay.
It's not just about building houses.
Right.
It's like a holistic thing.
Oh.
It's about trying to uplift the entire community.
Okay.
Making sure things can actually develop in a sustainable way.
For the long haul.
Yeah, for the long haul.
Okay, so let's break this plan down.
Yeah, let's break it down.
What are the key parts?
Well, one of the big things is this idea of vertical housing.
Vertical housing.
So instead of having these sprawling, unsafe slums, he wants to build modern apartment buildings.
Okay.
But not just concrete boxes.
No. Not just a warehouse or something.
Right. He wants them to be affordable.
Okay.
And, have essential amenities.
So integrated communities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Built in.
Built in. So water sanitation.
Yeah, clean water, sanitation, all that stuff.
Oh, right there in the building.
Right in the building.
I like it.
He's kind of using Singapore's housing model as inspiration.
Okay, yeah.
They've done a pretty good job with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Making sure it's affordable so people aren't priced out of their own neighborhoods.
Right, because that makes sense. But doesn't that create a different problem?
What do you mean?
You're taking all these people, you're putting them in high rises.
Yeah.
You're going to have overcrowding.
That's a good point.
And
yeah, you don't want to just create a new set of problems.
we're just shifting it. Right.
Right. And Abyoto has thought about that.
Okay.
And he wants the community to be really involved
Okay.
in the whole process.
That's it.
So they get a say in the planning, the design, what their future living spaces are going to look like.
So it's not just some guy coming in saying, I know what you need.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
It's about building communities, not just buildings.
I like that. And for any of that to work, you need infrastructure.
You need good infrastructure.
Okay.
That's the foundation.
So we're talking sanitation, waste management.
You got it.
Right? Because if you have more people living in an area, you got to have
Yeah, you got to have systems that can handle it.
systems.
Right.
So the plan includes upgrades.
Yes. Upgrading wastewater systems
Okay.
to prevent contamination. And this is the part I think is really cool.
Okay.
He wants to do community-based waste management.
So not just more garbage trucks.
No.
Okay.
It's more community-led initiatives,
Right.
waste banks maybe,
Okay.
or resident-run recycling programs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Seoul actually did something similar
Oh, yeah.
with their sanitation problem.
And they got residents really involved.
Okay.
And they saw a huge reduction in waste, 15% in just 2 years.
Wow.
So it shows you what can happen when you empower people to take charge.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So we've got housing,
Yes.
improved sanitation.
Mm-hmm.
What about the environment, though?
What about it?
Because, turning a concrete jungle
Yeah.
into, a green oasis,
Yeah.
that seems like a pretty big challenge.
It's a big challenge, but Abyoto was thinking about that too.
Okay.
He doesn't just want to focus on buildings.
Right.
He wants to bring in green spaces
Okay.
and even urban farming
Wow.
right into these communities.
So, rooftop gardens, things like that?
Exactly. Rooftop gardens,
Okay.
maybe vertical farms built right into the buildings.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's all about, improving the air quality,
Mm-hmm.
giving people access to fresh local food,
Yeah.
and creating a sense of community around those green spaces.
I can already imagine, what a difference that would make, compared to what we think of when we hear the word slum.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do we have examples of this actually working, though?
Like the urban farming idea.
Yeah.
Well, Bogota, Colombia is a good example.
Okay.
They've turned some really tough neighborhoods into thriving urban farms.
Really?
And it's been pretty impressive.
So it's not just like a pipe dream.
No, it's not.
This could actually work.
Yeah.
So it seems like they've really thought about the physical environment.
Right.
What about healthcare and education?
Yes.
Are we talking like state-of-the-art hospitals?
Well, not exactly state-of-the-art.
Yeah.
But the plan is to create solutions that are really accessible.
Okay.
And targeted, you know.
Oh, I like it.
So instead of big hospitals,
Yeah.
think mobile health clinics
Okay.
that can go right into the communities.
I like it.
And instead of traditional schools, you're thinking about informal learning centers,
Okay.
where people can learn practical skills and get job training.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's all about meeting people where they are,
Mm-hmm.
giving them tools to improve their lives right now.
Yeah. It's very practical.
Very practical.
Approach.
Boots on the ground.
I like it. So we've got housing infrastructure,
Yes.
a little bit of nature thrown in there,
So it's a green?
healthcare education.
Mm-hmm.
What about jobs?
Yes.
Economic opportunity.
That's a big one.
How are people going to make a living in this new environment?
Well, Abyoto is looking towards the future here.
Okay.
He wants to focus on digital inclusion
Digital inclusion.
and economic empowerment.
Digital inclusion in a slum. What does that even look like?
So imagine this:
Okay.
free, reliable internet access
Oh, wow.
for everyone.
Okay.
That opens up so many doors.
Yeah.
People could learn new skills online, find remote work,
Yeah.
maybe even start their own businesses.
Okay.
India has actually done some amazing work with this,
Yeah.
bringing internet to their slums. And the results have been incredible.
Wow.
One study found that digital literacy programs increase people's income by like 20%.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay, but this is like the million-dollar question.
What's that?
How do you pay for all of this?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a massive undertaking.
Well, Abyoto has a really interesting idea.
Oh.
He wants to use carbon trading to
Yeah.
fund a lot of this.
Carbon trade. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I don't totally understand how that works.
I can explain it.
Okay, break it down for me.
So basically, Jakarta would implement green initiatives.
Okay, like planting trees.
Yeah, like planting trees, creating those green spaces,
Yeah.
using solar power in the new buildings.
Mm-hmm.
All of that helps reduce carbon emissions.
Right.
And they earn something called credits for doing that.
Credits. Okay.
And those credits can be sold to companies that need to offset their own emissions.
So they're basically selling the positive environmental impact to pay for the project itself.
Yeah. It's pretty clever, isn't it?
That's very smart.
And it's not just theory.
Oh.
Bangladesh has been doing this with solar microgrids in rural areas.
Oh, wow.
And it's actually working.
That's very cool. Okay, so we've got housing infrastructure, green spaces, healthcare, education, economic opportunity,
Right.
a plan to pay for it all.
And one more thing.
Oh, there's more.
One more thing.
Okay.
Smart city technology.
All right, when you say smart city technology, I immediately think like flying cars.
No.
Yes.
Something like that.
Okay.
Abyoto wants to use tech to make life better for residents.
Okay, I like it. Give me an example.
So imagine sensors all over the community
Okay.
that monitor things like air quality and water quality.
Oh, okay.
And people could use their phones
Yeah.
to see that data,
Okay.
so they know what's going on in their environment.
Yeah.
They could even report problems like, a broken street light
Oh, yeah.
or overflowing garbage
Right through their phone.
right through their phone.
Yeah. And that goes right to whoever can fix it.
Exactly.
Right. I like that.
It makes the whole system more responsive and accountable.
It's really giving residents the power
Yes.
to improve their own lives
Yeah.
and their community.
It's about building trust and shared responsibility.
They've thought of everything.
It's pretty comprehensive.
It really is. But, like, can this actually work?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. Can something this big actually succeed?
Especially in a complicated city like Jakarta. It's a bold plan for sure,
It is.
but, anytime you have something this big,
Mm-hmm.
the devil is in the details.
The details.
We can't get too carried away,
Right.
with the possibilities.
Yeah, we got to think about what it's actually like
We got to be realistic.
in Jakarta, right?
Yeah, on the ground in Jakarta.
What are some, like, roadblocks?
Roadblocks.
Yeah, we should be thinking about.
Well, one of the big ones is that Jakarta's slums.
Yeah,
They're not like new.
right. They've been there a while.
They're really entrenched.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like a few little pockets of poverty.
Right. Right.
These communities,
Yeah.
they've been growing for decades.
Yeah.
Without any real planning.
Right. Without infrastructure.
Yeah, no infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's like this whole web of social and economic connections.
Okay.
And that makes it really tough to try and change things on a large scale.
So it's not just as simple as like bulldoze it and start over.
Exactly.
Okay.
You can't just wipe everything away.
Right.
You've got people's lives, their homes, their jobs, their whole social structure.
It's a community.
It's a community.
Yeah.
And even if you're moving people to better housing,
Right.
it's still a really sensitive thing.
It's a huge disruption.
It is, and people might resist it.
Yeah, they might not trust it.
They might be scared of what they don't know.
Right. And I'm also thinking about corruption.
Oh.
That's a big concern with projects like this.
Anytime you have a lot of money involved,
There's always the risk
that some of it will disappear.
that it won't end up where it's supposed to.
Right, right.
So you got to have transparency, accountability.
So people can see where the money's going.
Exactly.
And that builds trust.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got those challenges, but then there's also just the size.
The scale of it. Yeah.
Of this whole thing.
It's huge.
I mean, we're talking about potentially like transforming whole neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Moving thousands of people.
It's a massive logistical challenge.
Where do you even begin?
Well, Abyoto's plan is to start small.
Okay.
Do some pilot projects.
Right.
In smaller, more manageable areas.
Okay, so like test it out first.
Yeah, test it out.
See what works.
See what works, see what doesn't work.
Okay.
And show people the benefits.
So it's like a proof of concept.
Exactly.
Okay.
So people can see that this is real.
It's not just talk.
It's not just talk. It's something that can actually happen.
Right, and they can learn from those pilot projects. Yeah, these pilot projects are like living labs.
Okay.
They can gather data.
Yeah.
See if living conditions are actually getting better. Is the environment improving?
Are people getting jobs?
Are there new economic opportunities?
So it's not just good intentions.
No, it's about results.
Yeah.
You got to have the data
Yeah.
to prove that this is making a difference.
And then you can use that data to improve the plan.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. So it's like a constant process.
Yeah, it's iterative.
Of learning and improving.
You learn, you adapt, you keep getting better.
Okay, so we talked about relocation, the logistics. What about community buy-in, though?
That's crucial.
Right, because how do you convince people to embrace this huge change?
Well, that's where community involvement comes in.
Okay.
Abyoto wants to involve residents in every step.
Every step.
From the planning and design to the construction.
Yeah.
Even the ongoing management.
Wow. So it's not just about the buildings themselves.
No, it's about giving people ownership. Responsibility for these new spaces.
And that's not just like a nice idea.
Right.
It's really important.
It's crucial.
So we're making this whole thing sustainable.
Yes. If people feel like they've helped create their environment, they're more likely to take care of it.
Make it work.
Make it work for the long term.
Okay, I get that. But community involvement also sounds tricky.
How so?
Well, people have different opinions.
Of course.
Different priorities.
Yeah.
What if people just straight up oppose parts of the plan?
That's a possibility, and that's why you need strong leadership. You need open communication.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to compromise.
Find common ground.
Find common ground.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone's voice is heard.
It sounds like a tough balancing act.
It is.
Okay, let's switch gears for a minute.
Okay.
And talk about money.
Money, yeah.
This carbon trading idea is really cool, but can they actually generate enough money?
That's a good question.
From that to pay for all of this?
Well, the carbon market is still pretty new.
Okay.
And it can be unpredictable.
Unpredictable, right.
So the price of carbon credits can go up and down.
Oh, so it's not a guaranteed income.
It's not a sure thing.
Right.
So relying on that alone could be risky.
Okay, so what else are they considering?
Well, they're looking at other options too.
Okay.
Things like public-private partnerships, international development grants.
Okay.
Maybe even microfinance initiatives.
So basically not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Spread the risk.
Yeah.
Create a more stable financial foundation.
That makes sense, but even with the money,
you
need the right people to actually do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Architects, engineers, planners, social workers, community organizers.
You need a whole team.
It's a lot of people.
It is, and finding enough skilled people could be really tough.
Right, especially in Jakarta.
Yeah.
where they might not have enough people with those specific skills.
Right. And it's not just about technical skills either. You need people who understand the community.
Yeah.
Who can build trust with residents.
Right.
Who are passionate about making a difference.
Sounds like they need an army.
They do.
Of dedicated, talented people.
Yeah. And Abyoto knows that.
Okay.
That's why his plan includes capacity building.
Capacity building.
Okay, so investing in education, training program.
And the people they need.
Exactly, to develop the workforce they need.
So it's not just changing the city.
No, it's about investing in the people who will make that change happen.
It's a long-term vision.
It is a long-term investment.
Okay, so we talked about implementation, funding, buy-in, human capital.
Yeah.
Anything else we should be thinking about?
One more thing.
Okay.
And this is a big one.
All right, lay it on me.
Political will.
Political will.
Abyoto's plan needs the government to be on board.
Okay.
Not just with money, but with policy changes.
Okay.
Regulations. And they have to actually make this a priority.
Right. So even if Abyoto gets elected and this gets started, what happens when the next person comes in?
Exactly.
What if they don't care about it?
That's the risk.
Yeah.
With any long-term project.
Right, especially something that lasts longer than one political term.
That's why you need a lot of people to support this. It can't just be Abyoto's thing.
Right, it has to be bigger than that.
It needs residents, businesses, community groups, and the government.
So it's not just a project.
It's a movement.
A move?
People have to feel invested in it.
Right, regardless of who's in charge.
Exactly. It has to be a shared vision.
Yeah.
The future of Jakarta.
Something that goes beyond politics.
Beyond politics, beyond just one person.
Wow, we're really getting deep here.
We are.
This is more than just building stuff.
It is.
It's about changing how the city works.
Yeah, how the city sees itself.
How it treats its people.
It's a pretty radical idea.
It is.
But it's also really inspiring.
It is.
It shows that even with all these challenges, there's still hope.
There's hope.
There's room for innovation.
Yeah.
For a better future for everyone.
That's a powerful message. Okay, so we've covered the challenges, the logistics, the politics, the need for buy-in, the importance of the right people.
Right.
But now I'm thinking bigger picture.
Bigger picture, okay.
What could this mean for other cities?
Other cities.
Not just Jakarta.
Right.
But cities all over the world.
That are facing these same problems.
That's a great question.
It is.
And that's what we're going to talk about.
We'll dive into that.
No, final part.
The final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've really been digging into Abyoto's plan.
Yeah.
Looking at, the good and the bad.
The pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But now I want to zoom out a little bit and think about what this could mean for other places.
Beyond Jakarta.
Yeah, beyond Jakarta, because Jakarta's not alone.
Not at all.
In facing these problems.
Right, like think about all the big cities in Asia, Africa, Latin America.
Yeah, they're all dealing with these issues.
Yeah, explosive growth.
Yeah.
Crumbling infrastructure.
Poverty.
Exactly.
So if Jakarta can actually pull this off, it could be huge.
It'd be a model for everyone.
Okay, so let's say it works. What are some of the big lessons that other cities could learn?
Well, I think the biggest one is that you can't just focus on one thing.
Okay.
You can't just build houses and expect that to solve everything.
Right.
You got to think about the whole picture.
Okay.
The social stuff, the economic stuff, the environment.
So a holistic approach.
Yeah, a holistic approach.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
And I think Abyoto's plan is really good at that.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, it's not just about giving people stuff.
Right.
It's about empowering them.
Giving them the tools to help themselves.
Yeah, like the digital inclusion stuff.
Exactly.
Give people access to the internet. That opens up so many doors.
It really does.
Okay, but let's be real. Jakarta's a unique place.
Nice.
They have their own political situation, their own culture.
Right. Every city is different.
So can something that works there really work somewhere else?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer.
Right.
But I think the principles behind Abyoto's plan, they're universal.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, like the idea of sustainable development. Yeah. Community empowerment, using technology to make things better.
Yeah.
Those are things that everyone can benefit from.
So it's not about copying Jakarta exactly. It's about taking those ideas and adapting them.
To fit your own situation.
I like that. Okay, so let's go even bigger picture.
Okay.
What if this kind of urban transformation starts happening all over the world?
Yeah.
We could be talking about millions of people moving out of slums.
Into better living conditions.
What would that mean for the planet?
I mean, it could be huge.
Yeah.
If we can figure out how to make cities more sustainable,
Hmm.
more fair,
Yeah.
and more resilient to problems,
Yeah.
it could have a ripple effect on everything.
Like what?
Climate change, poverty, social justice.
Wow.
It's about making cities forces for good in the world.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
So it really seems like what happens in Jakarta could have a huge impact on everyone.
It could change the world.
All right, so here's the big question.
Okay.
And I'm asking you, the listener,
Mm-hmm.
do you think this plan can actually work?
Yeah. What are the potential problems?
What did we miss?
Right.
And even if it doesn't succeed completely,
Yeah.
what can we learn from it?
What can we take away from this?
Is this a sign of what's possible?
A glimpse into a better future.
What stands out to you as the most promising part?
And what makes you skeptical?
It's definitely something worth thinking about because this goes way beyond Jakarta.
It does.
This could change everything.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.